The next day, Ziying woke up from a sickbay after he fell unconscious. In front of him were Xiao, elder Wanling, and some other workers. Xiao was happy to see that he's finally awake. Ziying then asked her for how long he's been asleep. Xiao replied, telling him that he's been asleep for over 2 days. Elder Wang immediately told them that since Ziying has woken up, there is no need to worry anymore about him, so they should all go back to work, or they'll never finish their work on time. The other lady then told Ziying to get up and eat something. At the same time, Ziying asked them if Yukai did send more mutant beast. Elder Wang replied, nope. Instead, half of their branch staff were pulled to help out at other factories, and the front line's military needs have doubled. She also added that the battle at the 9th defense line ended, and humanity was pushed back to the 8th defense line, completely defeated. The situation is also extremely grim, whether on the ground or in the sky. Their troop stands no chance against the 10,000 races mutant beasts. In addition, the highly anticipated level 7 ability holder powerhouse, Son of Thunder Punishment, barely survived with an arm missing, and the level 6 ability holder powerhouse, the Flame Giant, made the ultimate sacrifice for the country. Ziying said to himself with a worried look that although he knew defeat was inevitable, but he never thought the collapse to come more earlier than in his past life. Elder Wang suddenly remembered something. She told him that the higher-ups have already made their decision about the irregular fighting that occurred between the officers during the special mission 2 days ago. The higher-ups said that the fatty who was killed had been influenced by a monster's mental manipulation. As a result of that, the Yi City trial grounds are completely blameless. She then told Zing with a worried look that compared to what she just mentioned, what she's about to say next is even more crucial. She then called in Xiao. Xiao came in with a paper on her hand. She then told Ziying that including those who went out to help, everyone unanimously elected him as the head of Yi City Trial Tower branch. She then gave him the official appointment letter from the higher-ups. Ziying was really surprised and speechless. Elder Wang then told him that the position given to him was as a result of everyone's recognition of him. She then apologized for offending him a lot in the past. And since they can't keep calling him Ziying, she suggested that they should be calling him Chief Ziying, and so they all agreed. After the appointment issue has been settled, they started the real conversation. Xiao told him that the tasks from the leadership has gotten much heavier than before. But with their staff halved, and the need for military supplies doubled, she had no idea how many of them would be left standing after a month, without eating, drinking, or sleeping. She then told Ziying, their new chief, to decide how they should handle the job. Ziying said to himself that the efficiency of the workers won't change much, so it's all on him now. He then opened his system panel and skimmed through it. With his level 7 beast-taming talent, level 6 Asura talents, and proper use of beast-taming skills, along with some /attribute techniques, his working efficiency can be doubled, so even with regular shifts. The new task won't affect the schedule, and with the chief position, dealing with Yukai after draining his resources just got a whole lot easier. Xiao then angrily said that the task given to them is downright unreasonable, so she suggested that they should appeal to the leadership. But Zing told her not to worry since he have already figured out a way to get things done. This came as a surprise to everyone in the room, and as he was about to get off the bed, Xiao approached him looking all worried. She told him that although she knows the pressure on him is immense since he have just taken on the role of a leader, but his body just recovered so he can't be reckless like before. Ziying stood up and he told them that, although he know everyone's worried about his health, but they should trust him, and they would be able to complete the task. They didn't say anything further, and they decided to follow his lead, so they all decided to go work and catch up on the schedule. But at the same time, a shadow passed through the door. No one noticed it, except from Ziying. Since it was too fast and it's definitely not one of their staff, so he rushed out to see who it was, but he saw no one, and so he rushed outside to search further, but to his surprise, a gun was pointed at his head behind him. The person holding the gun told him that he's got some guts since he's quite bold to chase after her. She then told him that from now on, he should not make a move, and he should answer all the questions she would be asking. Ziying was quite surprised since he had no idea when she appeared behind him. Maybe she's a true expert. The lady told him to tell her about the order he took from Yukai. How many would it be in the next batch? Are they the ones delivering it, or he is the one picking it up? Ziying replied, He told her that she shouldn't be asking him such questions, but Yukai and his gang, the girl was quite confused. She then said to him, "Aren't you an accomplice cooperating with them? So you better answer my question honestly." Just immediately as Ziying noticed that she's distracted, he took the opportunity to counterattack, and so he activated his Asura talent, quickly gaining an advantageous position. She shot the gun, but Ziying used his hand to block it. He told her that he isn't an accomplice of the scum Yukai. Maybe she picked up the wrong guy. She immediately retreated, and she asked him if what he said is the truth, then why is he helping him? Ziying replied, saying that he's not really helping him, he's just completing the task assigned to Ye City, and even if he's a worm, a scumbag, or even a traitor, technically he's still their superior for now. She was surprised to see that Ziying is well versed in Yukai's evil deeds. In that case, she suggested that they should join forces and take care of Yukai together. She then told him that her name is Zhang Yuan, from the 8th Defense Line Supply and Intelligence Section 2. Ziying looked at her hand with doubt, and he blatantly refused to work with her. Upon hearing his refusal, she immediately went back to her serious mode, and she asked him if he's choosing to side with Yukai. Ziying replied, "No, Yukai definitely need to be dealt with, but not now, and not with her, because he haven't considered the consequences of eliminating Yukai." She had no idea what he meant by consequences. Ziying then decided to explain. He told her that if she's thinking about getting rid of Yukai, then she's only looking at two options: assassination or internal whistleblowing. And when it comes to assassination, if there is more than one person on the other party, how will she make sure to silence everyone involved? Beside that, she should not forget her identity. And if the assassination fails, she would really be in big trouble. And as for handling it internally, investigations will be prolonged, and since humanity had just suffered a new defeat. If rumors of infighting over supplies leak, outsiders will interpret it as discord within the higher-ups, and it will inevitably trigger a bad chain reaction, throwing the entire rear into chaos. Ziying is saying all this based on what happened in the past. Everyone started panicking, and all they care for at that moment was themselves. Seeing that all what Ziying said is true, she asked him what he think they should do. Ziying replied, "I'll handle it." She was surprised by his words. She then told him to stop saying bullshit, since she knows too well that he is just a deserter, and even she can't handle Yukai talk, not of him. Ziying didn't say much. Instead, he activated his Asura talent. He told her that although he might not have been confident with his words 2 weeks ago, but now things are different, and since they just spar some minutes ago, she should be aware of his strength. She couldn't refute what he just said, because his reaction speed earlier was indeed off the chart. But the most surprising thing is that he just awakened a week ago. She was then wondering if he has the ability to continually strengthen himself. Ziying then said to her that he have told her all he can, and since she's a smart lady, she shouldn't act rashly. She should just stay still while he handles the scum Yukai. She decided to reluctantly agree to his request, since he's so insistent, but she told him that success is only the option. Ziying told her not to worry since he's a man of his word, but once they've dealt with Yukai, he'll depend on her for the mutant beast they need. She was surprised hearing that he still need more mutant beast. So she asked him, how many does he actually need? Also, his current strength won't be considered weak even on the battlefield, she said to him. I hope you are not planning something against humanity since you're constantly growing stronger yet keeping yourself hidden. So she wondered if he's on humanity's side or the 10,000 races, but Zing told her that she's overthinking it. Of course he stand with humanity, but he's not yet strong enough to drive the 10,000 races out. And so he wished her goodbye, and he left since he have said enough. The lady decided to trust him, although he's an unsettling guy, but his eyes don't seem like those of a liar. A few days later, Yukai came to Ye City. He was impressed that Ziying managed to complete the last mission without a hitch. He then told Ziying that he'd assign the next task to Ye City again, and he hoped he'll keep up the good work. Elder Wang was quite pissed since they're increasing the difficulty again. Last time it was just level 4 mutant beasts, but this time they're nearly level 5. Zhao then asked Ziying what they're going to do this time around, because last time handling the level 4 beasts made him all battered and bruised, but Ziying told her not to worry, he would be able to handle it. Ziying signed the documents. While Yukai was smiling at his strong resolve, Yukai said to himself that Ziying isn't just more competent than the dead fatty, he's also crucial because he doesn't take bribe. It also feels great not having people stir up trouble everywhere, since the investigators from the supply immobilization group has been keeping a tab on him. He is also happy because with the war going poorly, orders for military supplies have doubled compared to before. He deemed it as a godsend opportunity for him to make a fortune. He then placed his hand on Ziying's shoulder. He told him to work hard, and if there's anything he should just ask, and if he does well on the next few batches of task, he will be willing to personally award medals to him and his crew. Ziying then told Elder Wang and everyone to go to their station to start working, and so he instructed them all on what to do, seeing how they're all obediently following orders. Yukai was happy at how reassuring the working atmosphere in Yi City was, so he decided to leave and not bother him anymore. Ziying smiled, and he said to himself that he would make sure to hoard all of Yukai property, since they're all nourishment for his talent upgrade, and so he went to the trial grounds to continue his killing. He activated his alloy evil blade, and he began taking down all the horned rabbits in a single strike. With every kill, his Asura killing intent value also increases by 1.5%, and now his Asura level increased to the 6th level. Just like that time passed, on March 20th, Eagle Land's 8th defense line, a brutal battle lasting for 4 hours was fought. 800,000 soldiers fell, and 50,000 espers perished, resulting in the line's collapse. And during that time, Ziying was busy fighting in the trial grounds. On March 22nd, the 8th defense line at the northern glacier crumbled, and the 10,000 races breached the homeland, which caused 600,000 soldiers to die. All these happenings, yet Ziying is still fighting in the trial ground. He also learnt multiple skills and techniques, which includes Alloy Dragon Blade and Asura Dragon Slayer. On March 24th, the Southern Glacier's 8th defense line faced the Steel Slaughter race, and in just 1 hour, 500,000 soldiers were completely annihilated. And on that day, Ziying learnt Alloy Demon Blade, together with Asura Demon Slayer. On March 26th, France's 8th defense line and Kawasaki Nation's 8th line both collapsed entirely in just half an hour. During that period of time, Ziying Asura talent reached max level, obtaining the Hell on Earth mode skill, which terrified all the beasts in the trial ground, and so he decided to test it on the beasts. And with just a single raise of his hand, he was able to take down all the thousands of monsters in there. He was impressed at his Asura talent max level power, which is exponentially different from the previous level. He then switched off his Asura mode. At the same time, there were thousands of source stone harvested, which he can now use for taming beasts, and as for Yukai, he'll be rich but with no life to spend on it. He came outside of the trial ground. He saw Elder Wang and the others listening to the radio broadcast. It is said that currently only the Eastern Alliance, United States and Mao country are still desperately holding on, which made the Eastern Alliance to issue another call for recruits. And this time around the age limit is lowered to 16. Ziying said to himself that the collapse came too quickly, and even with his powerful Asura talent he's just one person, so he decided to speed up his preparations.